long-awaited finals set. Really looking forward to this. Kyrie Elizen on the red side, Only Heroes Club in the blue. And right off the bat, we see a little bit more of the quad triple tank getting teased here. Munsai swapping between Reaper, Junkrat, not quite sure which one he's going to pick. Junkrat definitely made a big difference again in their semifinals matchup. And on the other side, Kyrie Elizen kind of channeling some of that similar feeling, Keto on the Reaper.
Yeah, this is a team that we've only seen once before. They played a little bit of that dive. I do remember though they had, I believe, I think Dark was on the Reinhardt a little bit. But I think we saw mostly Winston from him 2 weeks ago. So yeah, this is a whole new world, a whole new meta here.
A whole new world.
Yeah, so it's quite a vivacious time to be alive as we're settling into a very chunky meatball-y composition for both of these teams. Nola's thankfully switching off that Symmetra back over to a Moira, but Keto starting off here with the Reaper versus Munsai's Junkrat. How do you think this is going to play into this matchup?
Gonna be a difficult one. Reaper definitely one of those nearly melee range DPS heroes. Munsai will win out in the long range DPS battle, but it's all gonna be about come down to this first pick. Neither team can afford to lose a member early on.
Yeah, let's see who goes down first. Already swinging away both Lego and Dark Artist, trying to keep their shield up as long as possible, because once those shields go down, Reaper's going to have free reign over everyone, and Dark Artist actually catching Tim with a very odd charge there, just barely catching him with that pin, so that's going to get the first blood, and actually almost swinging the point in their favor. And Earth Shatter, though, from Lego, very quick, almost reminiscent of Teemo earlier in the set. Munsai's going to capitalize with a kill on the Dark, and they're going to push that with both Coalescence being popped on the inside.
Both coalescences, but the deciding factor in this game is going to be Munsai's Junkrat once again. Trash Mouse making himself known. Keto decides to just take a quick dip off the side of the cliff. Even though Kyrie Elizen picked up the first point cap, they'll be giving it over to the side of Only Heroes Club as quickly as they took it. Munsai on fire, and deservedly so. He's going to be a big threat for Kyrie Elizen. Keto, he's going to have this Death Blossom in the next fight, but the question will be, will he get close enough to anybody to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, that was a very risky pin there by Dark. He did get the Lucio, though, so it ended up being worth it. But had he been punished, it likely would have been a held for Only Heroes Club. So there we go. The hold right in here with the Graviton, but no one is able to get the kills as Keto being booped away as he goes for the Q and has to fall back. Meanwhile, we have this the Moira just sitting on this Coalescence. They're going to fall back here, and this should be a hold. Kyrie Elizen in the red, holding pretty well here in terms of trying to, or falling back, unfortunately for them. So Only Hero Club's in the blue. They're going to hold on to the point for the time being.
That was an insane play from Munsai. Booped the Reaper away with that concussion mine, and Tamarian dropping the sound barrier at the perfect time to keep Only Heroes Club alive. Kyrie Elizen just smacking against the windshield of this defense like a bug. But early D.Va self-destruct actually going to pick up that Junkrat in the back. This is the go time for Kyrie Elizen. Oh!
Yo, the D.Va Bomb from Swag finds its mark, finds another, and now pushing that advantage. Only Heroes Club already forcing Kyrie back past the elephant here, and not only that, holding on to an ultimate advantage. Lego is going to be waiting with that shatter, and we could see what strat we saw earlier, trying to forcing the front line of Kyrie back. If they do get control of the point, and then having the Junkrat Riptire flank them. But Aviv out of position, finding himself around the corner, goes down, and then Munsai with the flanking Riptire just in time, calling it out with the 2 kills. So that's going to put a stop to the fight before it even happens. Only Heroes should be able to take this point.
Only Heroes pushing up extremely far, but they have all the time and room in the world. Kyrie Elizen not even going to get another foot on the objective.
Yeah, that's maybe one little drawback there of running triple or quad tank, is that it's hard to re-engage and recontest when you've lost members of your team just before the point's about to be entirely captured. That they don't have the speed or mobility entirely consistently available for them to get back and recontest. So winning that first fight or winning that last fight just in that window where the other team is gonna is forced to push up, and if they don't, they lose. That's really good for the defending team. It makes it very, very hard for things to swing back over. And unfortunately, Kyrie losing Aviv early at the beginning of that last fight pretty much sealed the deal for Only Heroes. So as we move on to a quickly forming round 2 here, stage 2 on Nepal's Sanctum, things are looking good for Only Heroes Club.
Things looking good, no changes here. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. On the side of Kyrie Elizen, though, an entirely different look. Once again, the dual shields between that Descartes, Reinhardt, and Karma on this Orisa going to be trying to make some room for Keto's 76. However,
Whoa.
Marion here, great boop onto Nola's means none of that Ana healing to keep any of the tanks up, and with that, only Heroes Club going to be taking an easy capture.
Physics in this game are absolutely crazy sometimes. Players getting booped around left and right. Dark got booped over the pit and landed on the other side, but then got routed anyway. Still, though, you never know what's going to happen when you got a Junkrat and a Lucio hitting all these mines and right-click boops. And unfortunately for Kyrie, they do end up on the short end of the stick, as only Heroes have hold on to it now, 16%. They are going to have a little bit of a charge, but Karma and Dark leading the fray. Keto up top with the 76, trying to rain down some shots from above, but he's found out here by Tim. Booped off of his perch there as Aviv gets the kill onto Munside, trying to swing things in favor of Kyrie. They forced only Heroes into this pocket room here. Let's see if Kyrie can translate that into a point win.
Kyrie there, Aviv getting so much value off of this Junkrat. Keto's tack visor here, not even necessary to secure the win, but you know, sometimes you just want Grandma to give you the juice. A nano visor coming in the last seconds there to seal the deal for Kyrie Elizen. However, this does mean they'll be relying entirely on Descartes' Earth Shatter for this next fight, and Munsai has yet another tire. It's going to be very difficult for Kyrie Elizen to avoid this one.
Yeah, Dark throwing it down, gets the Lucio on the other end of that Earth Shatter. Meanwhile, Lego goes down, so unable to throw down an Earth Shatter of his own. And now they've left Aviv on the point. Oh, Swag using the mech ultimate to keep himself in the point. Oh, he actually gets the kill on Aviv too. Likely just using it to keep himself on the point itself without having to go back to spawn, but instead deciding to actually able to get the kill on Aviv as well. So plus value for Swag, and they also get the capture.
They do get that capture. It was incredible RNG for the Diva Bomb to land on the very corner of that platform objective. Now Kyrie Elizen, though, Aviv, who's been equally matched against Munsai here, will have yet another tire, but the sleep from Leg onto Lego will be opening the way for yet another beautiful 2K from Aviv, and that's going to be another fight done and dusted. Both of these teams so evenly matched here on Sanctum.
Yeah, Kyrie holding on to half their ultimates, which is definitely a good look. Both support ultimates, which is great. And then, of course, they have the Zarya Graviton, so that should stop only Heroes in their tracks when they get into this. But Munsai, Endless, Tim, Tia, they're all sitting on their ultimates. Swag and Lego are kind of falling behind there, but they have a bunch of ultimates to get back into this fight. And Munsai is going to try and facilitate things for them. Getting the Roadhog Riptire coming in, but how is it going to sneak its way through? Going upstairs, going from behind, but the flank has been found out by Keto, and now Graviton to respond. As a Sound Bear also trying to mitigate that. Kyrie trying to hang on for dear life in the middle of this Graviton.
All right, second Graviton coming out, but Swagalope going to take a dive off the side. Doesn't matter, though. Most of his team still alive here, ready to capitalize on the point. Karma will be left all by himself to try and defend here. Going to be tossed into the pit. There is really no counter play for that Lucio boot. So once again, only Heroes Club going to swing it the point to their favor. Now we see Nola's going to be resetting onto the Moira once again. Giving up on that Ana is not getting a whole lot of value even off of the anti-nades throughout that fight, and getting the nano boost for the tack visor onto Keto has found very little value, so this is a good swap.
Ooh, a big Earth Shatter there, but Endless getting caught trying to clean it up while he finds Lego and Endless with their heads down, trying to scoop up the kills off the Earth Shatter. That might not be enough to get the entire win there, but Wally trying to do the most with that right click. Unfortunately, Nolas cannot survive much longer beyond that Riptire. And only Heroes Club taking a swift 2-0 here in Nepal, even though Kyrie showing signs of life in Sanctum. It will be only Heroes going up 1-0 in the set.
Only Heroes going to be taking the first win in the best of five finals set. Kyrie Elizen, though, they put up quite a fight. This was a lot more even than it looked, at least initially here. Great play of the game from Avi, showing he's just as good on this Junkrat as he was on the Reapers. But only Heroes Club bringing it back there. You saw a considerable amount of ultimate discipline, which was the key point missing from Kyrie Elizen. They were relying a lot more on kind of those clutch plays, the Lucio boops to get rid of members of the opposing side that they couldn't wear down just with damage. They can't really be clutching out every single time.
Yeah, that definitely in this meta, it's so much is critical. So it's the ultimate usage is very critical, even more so. Like, you need to be landing your ultimate combos. You can't be going just for these individual plays, like you said. They work out, but you need like the consistent actual like wipe a lot of the time. Again, Riptire so clutch for that Earth Shatter. You're seeing the value off these fat Earth Shatters. It's essentially a full cleanup there once you land one. So you want to get that as soon as possible. And as I hear that, as I'm talking, I hear that we are going on to Lijiang. So these teams love their control. Nepal, then Lijiang for the third time in a row. We're getting this 1-2 punch. We're going into it. But yeah, these teams really, I think a lot of it just comes down to the ultimate usage and discipline, getting the synergy, getting their ults quicker than the other team. Whoever's lasting longer in the fights is going to build up more ult charge, so it even snowballs even more, compounds that interest a little bit there for the winning team. And it can be hard to come back, especially in control, where you're already at disadvantage just from coming out of spawn against the held point. And then you have to deal with the positioning that they're in. You have to deal with the ult charge they've likely built up ahead of you, and whatever synergy they're going to use to clobber you back down to spawn. So it's a tough task to take care of for some of these teams. And for Kyrie, they got to get things going because they're already down 0-1.
They gotta get things going, and Nola's this time around not going to be fooling around with the Egyptian grandma, picking up that evil Irish doctor instead. Nola's on the Moira, going to be supplemented by Wally in the back to speed all of the tanks onto the objective. As you mentioned, Rapture, taking first point capture is so incredibly important when you have these big tank ultimates that take a while to generate. And the positioning can be so key for this slow-moving death ball. No changes on the side of Only Heroes Club as well. They'll be going with mirror comps once again here on Lijiang Tower.
Yep, still going with the triple tank. We're seeing the Reinhardt, Zarya, D.Va base kind of be the foundation here. And then, yeah, the Junkrat or the Reaper, but it's really just been the Junkrat as that one DPS along with the Lucio Moira that kind of seems to be the go-to triple tank composition, especially for control here. As the fight breaks out on the server room, they have a little bit of an advantage here for Kyrie in terms of position, but they lose Karma's mech early. That's big if they want to start chasing down for some of these supports or clean things up and keep away, a big ult with Q, so, or with the defense matrix. And Dark Art is getting a Earth Shatter, but not landing on a single soul. And unfortunately for him, he's going to absolutely get pushed back. Don't cross the streams, but both cannons are being thrown down. The Coalescence keeping both of their teams in the fray, but for how much longer? Just Kyrie trying to hold on to the point, but Only Heroes has pushed them up, and then Munsai sealing the deal with the Riptire.
Sealing the deal there, but I believe the fight was actually won when they demexed Karma. Earlier on, Kyrie Elizen actually drew first blood in Swagalope's mech, but they weren't able to capitalize on the lack of damage mitigation there. They continued to poke out, and they lost their own D.Va, which meant that the rest of the Junkrat damage was able to find its way through. Keto with that Riptire kill onto Munsai, big Earth Shatter following through as well. Now Kyrie Elizen once again looking to turn the tide.
Probably not the best Earth Shatter for Lego. By the time he had already used it, the rest of his team had gone down, so more of a waste than anything. But they did get Kyrie to pop almost every single ult that they had in order to get the points. So this is an opportunity for Only Heroes to swiftly get back onto it with their ultimate advantage. Despite losing the point, they did get that value out of the fight nonetheless. So they'll go into this next push with that. They don't have to worry about a Coalescence, but Nolas actually does have that out. And Earth Shatter putting them on their back, though. A Sound Barrier, maybe a little too late here as the team is now scrambling to stay together. And Lego finding a crazy sporadic charge onto Dark as he tries to retreat past the pillar. Another D.Va Bomb's going to go down from Swag, not going to connect. The Sound Barrier helping out the other team. And Earth Shatter from Lego, though, picks up 4, keeping them on their back in time for Only Heroes to get back up onto the point. Now they have to watch out for Kato's Riptire. He's going around, trying to get this Moira, and he does in fact find the coalescing Moira in the end. A Graviton will scoop up the rest of the team, and Kyrie will clean up once again.
Kyrie will clean up once again. I swear that Riptire should come with its own Jaws theme music. Dun 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 dun. He was just playing with the two supports in the back line. Am I gonna pop it now? Now he takes them out in the end anyways. And Kyrie Elizen still gonna have 2 great tank ultimates, D.Va Bomb and Earth Shatter in for this next fight. All eyes are on Munsai, and there we go. Finds Paydirt in the back, takes down Wally, which is actually a crucial pick. No Lucio speed and none of that healing, but it might not matter with a fat Earth Shatter in from Descartes.
Lego caught with his shield down, and Dark will punish that for free. And Earth Shatter wiping up the entire team here. The floor is now clean, ready to eat off of that one. As Kyrie taking the first major lead here on Lijiang so far. And they don't have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to hold Only Heroes Club in spawn for a little while longer, but that forcing Only Heroes, depending on the time or due to the time, and they have to push out here right into the Graviton. But an Earthshatter stopping Dark. Keno now with a Riptire finding the backline, but everyone else has died due to that Graviton combo, and Endless picking up 2, getting rid of the mech, and then Karma, the pilot itself. And by now, Kyrie's numbers have dwindled just a bit. Only Heroes getting up onto the point now as they clean up the rest of the stragglers trying to retreat. And Only Heroes Club just in time, swinging the point back in their favor.
Ooh, by the skin of their teeth, they'll be taking control of the point once again. A little bit of the mistiming of the grab from Avi there. He had the opportunity to hold all of Heroes Club at the choke with that unwilling hug, but Only Heroes were able to break out. They still had a couple of seconds to get a foot back onto the objective, which they did so, meaning that there will still be a chance for Only Heroes Club to win out Control Center.
Yeah, this is a good position for them. They have a big ultimate advantage here, and they're trying to stay out of the choke point as to not build up as much ultimate charge as possible. But Lego, trying to find the sneaky pin, but Dark just slips away as he now has an Earthshatter build. Has to be careful. Lego swinging a ton here, but the Graviton has kept everyone in place. The stagger is crazy now, and the entire team is going to go down with them as Swag picks up 2 on the Diva Bomb. Lego also getting the kill with the Fire Strike. So now 20% remaining for Kyrie, and they have no positioning, and they're still down in ultimate count.
Down in ultimate count, though, once again, Keto has this tire, though. He will be the man who can blow this fight open. It's already out hunting, looking for any players, but he gives up his life. This tire is going to be absolutely huge if it is to help open the way for his team, but Munsai will be the one finding Descartes.
Oh, great bubble there by Endless to keep Lego alive against the Riptire. And now by the time this fight is taking place, Kyrie is already dwindled. There's no one left to really contest. Just a few stragglers. Unfortunately, they're going to get pushed out of the town boundaries here. A Graviton, though, last-ditch effort from Aviv, but there's very little to clean up the rest of this fight. Nolas, though, and Keto, they're still doing a good amount of pressure in the backline, but it's Lego, who was kept alive by that bubble earlier, still doing a ton of damage, swinging that hammer away. Again, the Fire Strike. Swag also picking up Nolas, and now it's just Keto, and now the Diva rejoining the fight, and Karma. But Karma's left alone after picking up the kill on the Lego. By that time, that Reinhardt kill was too little too late, but Karma pushing away the other Diva. That could give some room for Dark to get onto the point and possibly build a little time here for the team to get back onto it, but everyone is so far away from Overwatch spawn. He gets ragdolled off the point. Now it's Nolos and Aviv again, locked down in the Graviton as Aviv. He's going to go down. Now it's just Nola. This fight continuing on. Kyrie refuses to let go, but Only Hero just wants to put him down for good. The Squishy's still hanging on for dear life, but it's going to be Endless, Munsai, and Swag getting on the board finally. And Only Heroes Club will take it 100% to 99, and now are up 1-0. Potentially could make this a 2-0 here on Lijiang, but they still have a little more work to do.
Yeah, very risky. Kyrie Elizen taking Only Heroes Club to control point once again. We see this triple tank Junkrat composition working out really well for the blue team. Keto actually swapping onto the Tracer in the last seconds of overtime in the control point round. Unfortunately, not able to get much done against the bodies of those big tanks. Now turning around for this map, it looks like a pause coming out. Nola's maybe a little bit of a connection issue on this side. Mic issues. It looks like. So we want to make sure that all of our players are
2018. Gotta come up with some new excuses, you know. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Usually, well, it's better than a disconnect or ping issues, which that does happen, or production issues or breaker issues. You never. There's always something that'll come and get you while you're trying to finish up a tournament. But looks like we do see a ready from Wally, so we should be getting back into this. There we go. Counting off here as we get back into the Lijiang Garden stage. Only Heroes is up 1-0 in the set. They're up 1-0 on Lijiang. They're looking to finish this tournament off quickly after that long delay, but Kyrie, if they have something to say about that, I'm sure they want to make this go to a map 3 or a map 4 or a map 5. Let's see what they do. They're breaking out. We have dive from we have a dive coming out here from Kyrie, going back to something they're likely more comfortable on.
I like this look from Kyrie Elizen. No need to try and beat Only Heroes Club at their own game. Keto's Farah and Avi likely going to be trying to dive the backline, get rid of those squishy supports right off. But Only Heroes Club made their easy way onto the objective. It's going to be so difficult for Keto to find the sightlines to dome the supports in the back without putting himself at risk.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Keto now on the Sphera has an advantage, as we pointed out earlier. you know, the tanks really can't get into her range of effectiveness. Keto can just sit out, but the difference here is that Keto has way less presence on the point itself, and once Farah gets close onto the point, she pretty much gets bodied. And we're seeing right here, only Heroes Club taking advantage. Their chunky and meatballiness is paying off very well on the very close quarters situation of this point.
One consolation, though, is that Kyrie and Lyson have earned a considerable bank of ultimates coming back in. Keto is going to have that barrage in the next fight, most likely Avi with that pulse bomb. And despite all of the HP from Only Heroes Club's tanks, you still can chunk away a considerable amount of damage there. But nothing going to be gained from that pulse bomb as of yet.
Yeah, Veep throwing it down for nothing. But Keto picking up the slack, channels down the barrage, gets a kill on the Tamarian, but then gets bodied by the Diva mech and thrown away. So that should be a couple kills, enough for Kyrie to probably pick up this point here. As unfortunately, Aviv did throw away the pulse bomb, but everything else worked out pretty gloriously there for the side of Kyrie. So they're going to reset with just a slight ultimate advantage, but control the point.
Yeah, this is actually really great. So much easier to defend with Afara than to try and open up a point with her. It is worth noting Nola's has swapped onto the Zenyatta. Better to have that Discord to chunk down the tanks than to try and keep the Farah up with a Mercy. So interesting play there. Munsai does find the tire onto Wally, however.
And Keto trying to get inside, finding some shots with these rockets, just whiffing on the Reinhardt, but nevertheless gets cleaned up with the help of Aviv. And now Keto trying to get the stragglers as they go back to spawn, but just trying to build up a little more ultimate charge here, ready for another barrage. And you're right, you're bringing out the Zenyatta over the Mercy. I think that's a good look, especially when people thought, okay, Mercy's really only good for Far Mercy, but maybe not even that good for that. Might as well just run the Lucio Zenyatta.
Nola's not only can throw that Discord orb onto any of those tanks, but he can also provide that Transcendence healing through Endless's Grav or Lego's Earthshatter, which they both have up for this next fight. Keto's going to have a veritable shooting range with all these slow-moving tanks holed up in this tiny hallway. So this is looking really good for Kyrie Elizen to hold for at least another fight.
Yeah, and Aviv also bought a little bit of time with that pulse bomb kill in the meantime. Now only heroes going through the white room, the back room flank, trying to get their way in, using a coalescence to push their way up onto the point into a graviton, and Munsei and Lego are waiting right there for the damage, and that is a one and done 0 to 100 cleanup there. Absolutely easy there for Only Heroes Club, finding their way into the back point, throwing down a coalescence, gets the graviton. Everyone was stuck in place, and there's pretty much very little you can do without an Earth Shatter to really stop that, or graviton yourself. So Kyrie will fall at the 85% mark. Now Only Heroes Club climbing their way back.
Yeah, but Kyrie Elizen likely only need to take one more fight in order to secure this point and tie things up here on Li Jiang. Wally crucially didn't use the sound barrier in that last fight. Perhaps Kyrie Elizen playing the long game, trying to draw out a few of those tank ultimates before they went all in this next engagement. But they can't wait too much longer. Munsai is about to come up with a Riptire, and losing a single member would doom this push.
Sound barriers and Transcendence being thrown down. Keto's still sitting on a big Earth Shatter though, and then Keto comboing into a barrage for 2. Nice one, but Lego was waiting right there to clean up a bunch of kills in response, and Endless finding the mech. They committed so much to that combo, but because they did it so close to the end of the team, they actually took casualties on their own side, Kyrie. So not getting as much out of that as they wanted.
Things are looking good, though. Keto actually going to stick to this far for the last fight. Only Heroes Club expended everything they had in their ultimate bank. Tia is going to only have that coalescence to try and fight off Kyrie Elizen, but Avi's Pulse Bomb gets ate by that hungry Diva, and now it is go time. Sound Barrier out on the field.
Primal Rage also being burnt, Coalescence, demeching Karma. They need as much tankiness as possible to just get rid of Only Heroes off the point, and Dark is trying to do so with the Primal Rage, getting a bunch of these kills. Now it's just Lego swinging away on the point by himself.
This is incredible in the nick of time. Kyrie Elizen turning this back around. Avi showing up huge for his team. Not to mention Descartes with those beautiful Primal Rage jumps just batting away all of the tanks from Only Heroes Club. As we've mentioned in this tournament earlier on, it's all about positioning when you're running this death ball, and Descartes was just a bull in a china shop there.
And now Tim trying to get away, stealing some of that fine china, but instead his life is stolen by Dark. And without that Zenyatta, especially one that really needs to get closer to a barrier to try and prolong this fight, but very ways away from that. A barrier or a barrage into Graviton combo nets Keto 1, and that's Kyrie coming back in the clutch. taken away 100 to 99% win after only Heroes seem to maintain a good amount of the positioning on the point for the latter half of that map. I'm sorry, geez. And Kyrie now coming through with a 1-1, forcing a stage 3 on Lijiang, and possibly a 1-1 set score. Only Hero is going to try and stop that and take it 2-0. They have to do it right here on Lijiang.
Only Heroes Club, if they want to maintain their lead, they got to show up big in our last map of Lijiang Tower. You saw earlier, what a incredible evolution of the storyline here. Only Heroes Club besting the quad tank with their triple tank, and now Kyrie Elyson with the dive besting Only Heroes Club. However, there will be a couple of changes. They're actually going back onto the triple tank, but Keto has the Roadhog in hand. He'll be looking for those juicy hooks onto Munsai, getting rid of that trash mouse early on in the fight to pave the way for his team.
Yeah, the initial pick here is going to be big. If they can get rid of one of these tanks, it'd be great space brought up, being bought here for either team. And already we see Kyrie on the point. There we go. Keto going down early. So not only losing some space created, but also the pick potential that Roadhog brings. So now they're going to try and just even the odds here, but Swag finding Dark too. Swag doing a bunch of damage with this Diva mech, and Karma trying to stay alive as long as possible. If they can keep that Diva mech in check for as long as possible, that would be great to keep the fight going. But Karma, as he swooshes his way back onto the point, loses that mech, going down with a big bill for that huge tank there that he just lost. So yeah, that'll be a hold for Only Heroes, popping a Coalescence just for good measure. Keto should go down too. That should be a first point.
Yeah, they've already captured it, so not quite sure what the coalescence coming out of Tia was. Maybe just making sure that everything is, all of the papers are in order. The point is fully in the hands of Only Heroes Club, and a really aggressive defense coming out once again, but it's going to be Kyrie Elyson winning out here. Avi's Graviton Surge getting capitalized on beautifully, and that's how you combo with a Coalescence. Nola's taking out Legal, and so just as quickly as they took it, Only Heroes Club going to be giving up the point.
Yeah, a little bit of a misguided, premature defense there. And not only getting in Only Heroes Club's face, but burning a lot of ultimates for little value. So unfortunately for Only Heroes, they are going to fall back, limping a little bit out of that fight, but they are still sitting on a good amount of ultimates, at least one or two. There's the Graviton holding them in place. Is Kyrie. They respond with the Earth Shatter, but no one's in place to get hit by it. Swag gets the Diva Bomb. Munsai also connecting on the Riptire, and now Coalescence again trying to fortify the back and tank lines of either team as we move over to the point. We have this Junkrat trying to find these tanks in the back corner. He does get the Lucio for his troubles, and now falling back. All the tanks are right in his face. This Junkrat going absolutely off. Munsai trying to get some more damage, but there's no one left to deliver it to. Only Heroes will swing it right back in their favor.
Oh, this is such an incredible back and forth between both teams. Keto, though, on this Roadhog, not doing quite as much, making as quite as much of an impact as he might have liked. Munsai, much more of a utility DPS hero in this case. Keto, if he doesn't land that hook, he's just going to be a giant ult battery for the opposition as Descartes goes down early.
Yeah, very true. They might want to rethink that, possibly getting, another DPS up onto things instead of going for the quad tank. But Keto demonstrating his value, getting rid of Munsai early into this fight. They're going to try and relapse into this with a Graviton, holding Swag, Endless, and Tim in place for the cleanup, and Kyrie having no problem confirming off of these ultimates, taking a little bit of time to find their steam, but now the locomotive is going, and they're racing down the track.
I think Keto heard me trash talking him and showing up big. 2 key picks for that Hog man in that last fight, and now he's earned himself a whole Hog. If he can catch Only Heroes Club in this tiny choke point, he'll have bought so much more time for his team. He'll have to watch out for Munsai's Tire, though, as it comes out immediately.
And Lego capitalizing on the grab again. Gravitons are coming out so quickly. It's like they're throwing it out like candy. Endless, and Munsai having no problem building up these charges, and no problem putting teams on their back with another Earth Shatter. Keto trying to salvage things with the whole Hog, but there's no one there really to support him, and he's probably going to get melted back, but somehow gets away back behind cover. Now Lego diving right in. Swag trying to do the same, but gets de-mech. Lego still swinging away, and a big put down there by Swag just in Wally the nick of time. Dark Artist, though, going to find the Fire Strike onto Munsai, and another one trying to put the team on his back, but everyone else has fallen by the wayside, and unfortunately you can't win a 1v4 with everyone else remaining. So that's going to go down eventually. Swag pick it up 2, and they're going to swing it back over at 73.
Descartes there with a great Earth Shatter. He tried to capitalize off the back of it as best he could as a single tank there. Regardless of how many frags he picked up, he bought 94% for Kyrie Elizen. It's down to the wire now. Neither one of these teams can afford to lose the next fight, and they'll be running on empty. Wally, though, has the ability to make things happen for his team with that sound barrier.
Oh, Kyrie now in desperation mode. Dark trying to capitalize on the Earth Shatter, but he gets Earth Shatter himself as he dashes through. Everyone getting melted here, but Munsai picking up two with the Riptire. Swag demeched outside of the point. Endless trying to pick up the Moira and does at a high percent at 80%. Trying to push up even more with this laser, and he finds some targets in the back line. Lucio's still sitting there. The Roadhog creating some issues for him. He wants to get that Lucio, but just can't hit him with the right click. Trying to get the Roadhog. Has to dodge this hook, though. Doesn't want to get caught by that. Trying to get a little too greedy, and he does fall back. Looking for this Winston now, though. I think the first Winston we've seen all stream, but it's not going to be a very welcoming... No one's going to lay out the welcome pad here for this monkey as he goes right down. Unfortunately, sent right out the door as quickly as he came in. Munsai going off on the board, and Ham, this might be a swing back over here for Only Heroes Club. They're trying to hold on to this as long as possible, and Kyrie just falling down one by one.
Kyrie falling down one by one. The flip comes in, and now Only Heroes Club just have to clean up the last dregs, and there they go. Mop, mop, mop. Victory for Only Heroes. They'll take a 2-0 lead in this best of 5.
And now they are on match set tournament point here after another win on Lijiang. Oh, I like the snow. Wow, that's a huge snowball. That's crazy. Legal, I'm assuming with a pretty fat Earth Shatter here, trying to salvage the rest of this. Just swinging away. Doesn't even need the Earth Shatter. Building it up, just for good measure, swinging away. And this is, I honestly, as someone who used to play Reinhardt a ton, I love just seeing these Reinhardts just happily swinging away, getting all this damage. So. Lego, not entirely sure what happened there, but, you know, a win's a win. We take those. So, yeah, Kyrie now down 0-2 against Only Heroes Club, who are looking to be a Royal Roader team, if you will, in today's EU Cup. Their first EU Cup here at 88, and they could potentially be taking it. Kyrie, they have to have something to say for them. They're down 2 maps.
Kyrie down 2 maps, falling to kind of this unknown underdog here. Only Heroes, their first GO4Overwatch EU Cup appearance, and what a performance it's been so far as well, outplaying kind of this veteran team of Kyrie Elizen. The Junkrat working out so beautifully for Munsai, and going to be looking forward to a little bit more of this as we open up onto our possibly last map of today, King's Row.
Oh, say it ain't so, Ham. I feel like we should just be casting forever at this point, but eventually, all good things do have to come to an end. But Kyrie would like to, I guess, keep the good times rolling just a little while longer. Doesn't want to, completely call it quits here. Of course, why should they? They still have an opportunity to go for the reverse sweep, but it's going to be a hard fight here on King's Row. We're back in the cold streets of England, cold streets of London. I'm assuming for our third map, and yeah, potentially. Thank you, Ben. Potentially, final map here, as you said, Ham. So yeah, Only Heroes Club up 2-0. And yeah, the difference is, again, it really comes down to ultimates. It's so important to be getting your ultimates as soon as possible. And on Control, it's that problem for the other team is exasperated because when you're losing these fights, you don't have, the time and the damage dealt to build your ultimates. So the other team not only wins fights and gets percentages, they're winning the ultimate race as well. And it's really hard to stop that snowball from rolling down the mountain any farther. So it's going to be up to Kyrie to try and get that edge a little early and stop Only Heroes' momentum before it gets going. But Only Heroes doesn't seem like they're stopping whatsoever. They made their way all the way from round 1 after taking out My Hands Are Freezing, and they are super hot right now, looking to make this 3-0 sweep.
Super hot indeed. Keto there, not to take anything away from the individual playmaking ability of any of the players on either side of the team, but we need to see a little bit more out of Keto's Hog. He had some great ultimates, some good hooks, but it's been very difficult for him to face up against Munsai's Junkrat here. He's really the only long-range damage that Kyrie Elizen have to try and keep that Junkrat in check.
Yeah, and speaking of the Junkrat, Munsai running that still, it's going to be hard to deal with this range spam damage, but nevertheless, that's not going to stop the offensive Kyrie from bum rushing the point a little bit here, trying to force Lego off of his stoop a little bit, but all they've done is really scattered around the point, trying to stay behind the shield, but they're getting booped around. Dark is literally getting booped around. Oh, already a tire being thrown down. Munsai gets put down for the count by Karma. This Riptire doesn't look like it's going to land on anybody, and I believe it doesn't. Both Reinhardt's trading just a little bit there, but this defense is going to hold for the moment.
Defense gonna hold here for a moment. The fact that you can build ultimates, generate it off the bodies of these tanks so quickly, really coming to bear in that first point. Even though Munsai didn't get anything off of that Riptire, the speed at which he was able to generate it is amazing.
A huge X across the point as both special beam cannons being crossed across it. And wow, I don't know how much clearer I can view with that one. Karma finding a multi-missile barrage there on Swag. The point is just an absolute chaotic mess as the Graviton's going to find, trying to clean things up a little bit outside of the point, but not too many kills being brought off of that. It's again Munsai de-meching Karma, having trouble staying within the cockpit there. Tia in the back line, healing the rest of this, both Tim and Endless. Endless is just an absolute menace here with this Zarya, maintaining absolutely ridiculously high charge for a very consistent amount of time, and building ultimate charge like crazy, already halfway to another Graviton. They just used grab like 10 seconds ago, and they're about to get another one.
Which is incredible. That Zarya laser Endless taking the faces, melting the faces right off of Kyrie Elizen. Somebody to be feared. They have a sound barrier though. Will the attacking team as we come back in? Coalescence getting thrown in by Nolas.
Dark finding the Earth Shatter, sneaking it right by Lego after he gets booped off to the side. And that could be really it. After Karma landing a solid Diva mech, unfortunately, or outdoing Swaglobe, who gets 1 kill on that Diva bomb. Graviton holding everyone in place, but no kills coming off that wall. He does find Tia and Endless, though, just at the tail end of that Graviton. The defense falling apart, and that's how crucial it is to have your Reinhardt up in that shield in the right position. One Earth Shatter into the shield, push the team right up onto the point, and that was a snowball for the win.
Wasn't just the Reinhardt shield spelling doom for only Hero Club's defense there. Karma's beautiful self-destruct took out both the Lucio and the Junkrat from the equation, which literally blew open the point for Kyrie Elizen to go, go, go. They expended a Graviton Surge, but they're still going to have the Whole Hog and Earth Shatter pushing into Streets phase.
Yeah, but they're going to have to worry about Endless's Graviton, which is ready and waiting for them as they try and get past this choke point. This is a good opportunity for Only Heroes Club to push their advantage, and Lego, the shield is in position, and then the responding Graviton. This is a 1-2 punch that Kyrie is having a hard time dealing with, as Tim getting on the board for 2. Nice shot, Lego also pushing that, swinging in the face of Nolas, but Munsai does steal the kill. Oh, and Karma getting sniped by the Fire Strike as they try to retreat, so Only Heroes now gonna spawn camp the hell out of Kyrie.
This is shades of Selfless from the old Alienware monthly melees here. Only Heroes Club going to be looking to press their positioning advantage. A really long-range Graviton Surge coming out, and this is great positioning. Oh no, actually not going to find anything off the back of Swagalope's Diva self-destruct, but it is going to zone away Kyrie Elizen, but not help them sustain.
That Graviton making Only Heroes kind of think twice about that overextension spawn push, and in fact they might regret it now, as Kyrie has taken a huge advantage now in the second phase. They are going to be able to move past the midpoint of King's Row, and they'll be able to establish some positioning on the second checkpoint itself. It's going to be up to Aviv to build up towards a Graviton before the next fight starts, and for Keto to get a Riptire too. Those are two crucial ultimates they can have for the rest of this, but Dark is still sitting on a big slam, so they should be good going to the next fight.
Yeah, Keto having swapped off of that Roadhog onto the Junkrat, a really good pick. He's going to be able to throw his Riptire into the mix in just a second. Moonside, though, will have the first go at it. Rubber Ducky Tire not going to be finding anything, though. Perhaps just zoning out the enemy, trying to see what their positioning looks like. But now the answering tire will be coming out, comboed with the self-destruct and the Graviton. Oh, and there we go. Good for 3.
Keto, such awesome, a really amazing Riptire control there. Waiting out the Zarya bubbles to pop the Riptire, knowing that he needs to get all that damage done and can't falter, throwing it into bubble shields and building up not only Zarya charge, but also not getting the kills he needs. So really good patience there. Of course, the Graviton Riptire combo, hard to deal with once you're sucked into it, and he gets 3. So now they're pushing up. Dark is sitting on an Earth Shatter. Lego has to be careful swinging because Dark is ready and waiting with an Earth Shatter that could finish this map off right then and there.
Right then and there, and only Heroes Club not going to have anything but Endless's Graviton Surge to try and give something, Kyrie Eliza something to think about in this next fight. The thing is, with these Zaryas, Endless has been sent back to respawn so many times, he hasn't been able to maintain that high charge, which is crucial for finishing up the grabs, as we see there. However, the rest of his team able to chip in as Lego lays the rest of the attackers on their back.
Yeah, chipping in is definitely an understatement there. The Earth Shatter cleaning up the stragglers, the loose ends of that fight, if you will. Now pushing Kyrie to about the 2-minute mark, and not only that, they're still establishing ultimate dominance a little bit. Things are tied up, but Tim is about to get the sound barrier to make it a 4-3. Keto needs to get this Riptire quickly, as while he doesn't have a sound barrier, anything close to it, a Diva Bomb is going to be sent downtown, and Swaggle finds him at the other side of the street, getting rid of Wally. That's going to cue only Heroes to dive up onto the rest of the offense and just rush them, get rid of the remainders, and clean things up your hand.
Yeah, but a smart disengage from Kyrie Eliza, and they know when the fight is lost. Only Heroes Club threw 2 of their offensive ultimates in that fight, so they'll have to be working on off of the sustain from the Coalescence and the Sound Barrier in this next one. There we go, Sound Barrier out, but will it be able to save anybody from the Riptire? And no, Keto finds another 2, making everything look so easy. And only Heroes Club, they're going to be regretting the fact they don't have a stalling Diva Bomb.
Just another fantastic Riptire waiting out either the shield out of position or the bubbles, and not just popping it once they get into the group itself. So just the Junkrat discipline is just paying off. That's a big X factor for both of these teams. Or Munsai falling behind a little bit here in ultimate charges. Keto is also close to another Riptire, a bomb coming down. It's not going to connect on anyone, and Dargar is also not able to land a clean Earth Shatter now. Lego though getting booped off to the side, 2 down. For only Heroes Club is Kyrie finding the kills they need with these crowd control ultimates. They are kept in place by the Graviton, but there's no one else to clean up the kills as Endless and Tia struggling to hit ends meet here and put some food on the table. Unfortunately, they're getting absolutely cleaned up and minced here as the payload just within 2 meters away. Everyone is staying on for their dear life. Swag is going to hold on to this mech, but Ham, this is going to be very hard for only Heroes to get back into this fight, and they're not even going to be able to.
Endless leaping in last second. Doomfisto not going to be able to do anything to stop the tide of Kyrie Eliza. What incredible ultimate discipline. Super smart usage to get maximum value, especially around that 3rd point. You saw that Tamarin threw down that sound barrier in response to the Graviton Surge, but what nobody was expecting was for Keto's tire to come in, because that sound barrier shield is not going to save you from the exploding Suicycle. And so Kyrie Eliza Kyrie Eliza not only drew out that sound barrier for not only got the wipe to continue the movement of the payload, but they drew out that sound barrier from only Heroes Club, meaning that they were going to have to rely entirely on vanilla Overwatch play to try and hold for 3rd point, which just didn't come together for them.
You touch on a really good point there. It's what Riptire does to anyone who's sitting on an ultimate. You hear the Riptire, like, oh, gotta hit Q, I gotta hit my barrier, I gotta hit Transcendence, I gotta hit Coalescence, whatever it is. But then that just allows the Junkrat to wait out your ultimate, literally, or, holding on to it as long as possible, finding targets that might be out of the effective range of those supports who have or who have already lost the bonuses given by those ultimates. So it's kind of a little bit of a mind game of holding on to your ult as long as possible without holding on to it too long and missing that threshold. It's hard to really know the timing, and missing that timing can literally mean death for your entire team. So it's a hard task for sure.
Very difficult to try and find that fine line, that gray area to get maximum value off of your ults without going too all in what might not be the last fight of the game. But this time around, Heroes Only Club, they still do have the chance to finish things out. Kyrie Eliza with only 20 seconds on the clock. But to defend, no changes from the side of our red team. Keto once again on that Junkrat, not going to be trying out the Roadhog right off the bat. He'll be sticking with the Trash Mouse.
Yeah, both teams running the same exact comp here, so no surprise. Neither team going for the quad tank. Here's a big hotel rush coming out from Only Heroes, making the full rotation, now putting Kyrie on the side of the defenders here, as the entirety of Only Heroes finding themselves in the back pocket, looking for these picks. Here comes Swag, looking for one of those picks, but unfortunately overextends way too much and loses the Diva mech. So that means it's only going to be up to Lego and Zarya of Endless to keep from their backline being pushed up too far here, but I think Endless is loving all the charges getting from this push, though. Wow, a very quick coalescence from Nolas, though at this point it's pretty much standard from this character at this point, excuse me. A coalescence keeping both teams alive, and another one being popped here from Tia.
The longer the fight goes on, the better for the attackers, because while both of the teams are trading evenly back and forth on the objective, respawns are so much closer for the attacking team, so they can get those reinforcements in very quickly. And so it's very worth trying to get these staggered kills, even if they are one by one. Only Heroes Club just looking to grind away at the defenses of Kyrie Elias and win by attrition.
Yeah, and that war seems like it's going to be won here by Only Heroes, as they have cut off the supply lines for Kyrie Elizen, and that should mean a full capture as they're going to just keep one on the point and push their advantage up through the second checkpoint. If they can stagger Dark, that'd be big, but Dark is going to be rounded up and shored up by the rest of the team. Actually, Swag and Lego pushing up pretty far here. Have to be careful to not lose this. They'd lose any kind of advantage they have in terms of real estate on the second point.
They might just be trying to pressure Kyrie Eliza into investing a couple of ultimates to get rid of some of this frontal pressure from Only Heroes Club. They're aggressing almost all the way to point B, and there we go. Graviton Surge thrown out by Avi, but no capitalization besides the coalescence. There we go, though. Avi charged up there, glowing with all the power of that Zarya laser, going to be taking down the main tanks of Only Heroes Club and the rest of the team crumbling behind them.
Yeah, Aviv at the end of that fight was between 90 and 100% on the Zarya charge. That's not something you want to mess with for sure. And also going to be building close to another Graviton Surge. Endless needs to catch up on that. About 40-50% away from Aviv now, as this fight has moved over to the choke point. Here comes another Diva Bomb. Oh, the Diva Bomb combination forcing everyone to turn, allowing Lego to throw down an Earth Shatter, and he does connect on a few, and they're getting these kills slowly but surely off of those ultimate pushes. Aviv, though, de-meching Swagalope and now trying to combine off that. He has a Graviton waiting, but doesn't want to pop it immediately, and thankfully does not, as he went down just immediately after the fact. Tia and Swagalope is going to clean up the rest of this point, so Aviv will hold on to the Graviton for the next fight to, you know, retreating back to spawn, if you want to put it that way, but, you know, living and holding on to the ultimate to fight another day.
Gotta make sure you're around for that next battle, because the war still rages on. Over Heroes Club going to be pressing their advantage here. One of the problems for this attacking side is you see that once again they have expended their ultimate bank. Kyrie Eliason has been getting so much value off of these Riptires, in particular as Keto lets one loose. Munsai and Endless both relying on the 1-for-1 picks for each ultimate. You really need more! Oh, and 4 is more than 1. Gonna add that Swagalope mech in there as well. Keto going insane with that tire. Perfect discipline from both the Junkrat and that Zarya to combo with the Graviton Surge. Only Heroes Club had no idea what was coming.
Yeah, Aviv rushed right in, and even Zarya is not the fastest character, but with a little help of that, a little help of their friends, with the help of that Lucio, boosted right in, threw down the Graviton, looking good. And now the fight has fallen back to the second midpoint, or the one midpoint of the map there is. Nolas and Dark Hearts getting onto the point. Dark swinging away, low percent, lower than 100 HP there, but just health back just in time. Getting a bunch of kills, and another sweep there for Kyrie.
Avi already nearly 50% to yet another Graviton Surge. Only Heroes Club, they have to know that a Grav is just around the corner, not to mention the potential for another Riptire from Keto. Munsai needs to get a little bit more value off of these tires. He's been pulse bombing it a little bit too much, channeling that Tracer, only getting 1 kill for his efforts, and his team is really relying on him to pick up more.
Munsai looking for this Riptire, finds 2 just in that back end, so Only Heroes knows that's their cue to go in. Dark trying to get in and get some kills, but charging right in puts himself into the back line, into behind enemy lines that is, and gets cleaned up. Here comes another Riptire being thrown down. Feels like there's a Riptire active almost every second of this match, and Keto reminding us of that fact, throwing down a double kill with the Riptire off that Graviton. Another combination that seems to work out 100% of the time, and that should be another cleanup for Kyrie as they're holding on. Only Heroes Club having trouble getting through this second checkpoint. 60%
of the time, it works every time. But not going to be Anchorman here. Kyrie, Eliza, and you're right, Rapture. This combo has been so deadly every single time. It's almost like the olden days of the Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combo. There was no counterplay, basically, unless you had a Transcendence. But in the case of Only Heroes Club, not all the sound barriers in the world not going to save you from that. 51 seconds left for them to try and capture a point B.
Endless sitting on this Graviton, knows that's the key they can use. Oh, a Graviton being thrown down just as the Earth Shatter Beast is landed by Lego. And that is a nice combination there. Cleaning up a few members of Kyrie, and now the stragglers are being put down. Aviv unable to throw down a Graviton of their own before getting thrown down into the Shadow Realm. Karma still a ways away from another Diva Bomb. Even Keto a ways away from a Riptire, so this should be an opportunity for Only Heroes to push the advantage and try and buy up as much time and space as possible, as well as hold on to their ultimate charge.
Yeah, for the first time in this map, we see Only Hero Club with the ultimate advantage. Munsai with that tire, gonna see if he can go for another couple in the back line, chasing the Lucio. Only going to find Wally, though, and he does give his own life, so not quite as much value as he was looking for, as Only Heroes Club will be resetting, but they can't afford too many more.
Yeah, there's only a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. Only Heroes Club, they might want to end this set a little early. Kyrie trying to push this into a reverse 3-0, and they have a Coalescence they have to deal with, though. Tia throwing down, they have their own. And now a Diva Bomb potentially being thrown. Actually, no, Swag is just going to go right up and try and harass from the top, trying to avoid Keto's Riptire too. Yeah, not going to get the Riptire, though. And now here comes the Diva Bomb, but Dark with the Earth Shatter gets the kill, putting Endless down, as well as Lego, and Tim getting absolutely destroyed by it. Kyrie still with 50 seconds left on the clock. Only Hero still has time, but Kyrie cleaning up shop.
They have time, but only 45 seconds of it. Lego with that Earth Shatter is going to have to be a big one, because regardless of how many frags they pick up, they won't be able to touch the point for Karma's Diva self-destruct. All eyes will be on this Reinhardt as we move into the final seconds of the game, and no, he dies!
Lego throws down an Earth Shatter and gets melted immediately. Karma, though, from downtown, a little bit of wrist on that, gets the Diva Bomb in the back line, finding Endless and Munsa. So Endless not going to be able to build towards a Graviton as quickly, might not even have it ready for this next fight.
He might not even have it, and even if he does, going to be so difficult. Keto with yet almost nearly another tire generated. They'll have to burn through Nolez's Coalescence, Wally's Sound Barrier, so much for Only Heroes Club to try and fight through as overtime is activated.
Kyrie, their blood is pumping. They got what they needed to get out of this fight, and no one is touching the payload as overtime ticks away. Kyrie not done just yet. They're going to make this a 2-1 set now. We're going to go to a fourth map. They're not getting routed, and now possibly a reverse sweep in the works for this team as Keto gets on the board with the play of the game.
We saw that those rounds on Lijiang Tower were close for a reason. Kyrie Eliza bringing the thunder here, or more accurately, bringing the burning rubber with Keto's beautiful tires. Every single time he let one loose, it was at least 2 members from the side of Only Heroes Club down. And once again, I just want to call out the beautiful synergy between the Junkrat and the Zarya. Oftentimes you saw that tire coming out very early on in the team fight, so that puts, the enemy team in a sense of fear, like you're wandering around. It takes their eyes away from the front line. The Graviton Surge comes out, and that's when the tire pops out from the high ground, drops in for a beautiful team win.
Yeah, Graviton Junkrat Riptire is an OP combo. Works every time, it seems, and so far neither team has had a response to it except building their own Graviton Riptire combo and trying to get more kills. So Kyrie showing that they were able to do that and get that combo for some more meaty damage just in time against the blue side here. So that, looking very good. Only Heroes still, they have the lead, and we're going back to control if y'all weren't sick of it already. Boy, we have a map for you. We're back to Ilios. So yeah, we're gonna Kyrie trying to build towards a reverse sweep. They got to do it on another control bout though, where they're 0-2 in this set on control. But like you said, they were close sets there on each control map. They could have gone either way. So could be an opportunity for Kyrie to possibly make this to a map 5. Who knows? We could ask Ben. He is the clairvoyant of all of us. But I think
our resident psychic.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna let the set speak for itself though.
Yeah, you're right. It is once again control point, but there is going to be a difference. Luck of the draw favoring Kyrie Eliza. We're opening up on ruins, and already we see the red team with a very different look. It's going to be Genji Widowmaker dive for the side of Kyrie, and only Heroes Club going to be sticking to their guns with this quadruple tank, but they might not be prepared for Avi's sniper.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this works out. In the Mercy meta, Widowmaker did come into a niche pick on a multiple maps just for using those long sight lines to support the divers and deal body damage and help make the cleanups easier or get cleanups herself on anyone who's already damaged. But now she's still sticking around on some maps. You know, Ruins Ilios is like a home stage here for Widowmaker, but how effective is it going to be against these tankier compositions, especially against quad tank, where getting the picks is easier said than done?
Easier said than done. Avi's gonna have her scope lined up on the Only Heroes Club supports in there.
I take that
Great
back.
headshot onto that piggy dome of Endless. Gonna be ventilating that Roadhog. That's such a big pick for the side of Kyrie Eliza. Now it's going to be up to the ground forces to capitalize on this. The Only Heroes Club continue to brawl things out.
Yeah, here's something to consider though. Aviv, no presence on the point, but these tanks really can't get in their face except the Diva or a Winston, which we're not seeing. So, but despite that, even though Aviv did get the initial kill, couldn't get anything else. So that's the risk you put in when you throw your money down on that investment. When Aviv's hitting the shots, it's great, but he has to be continually hitting the shots. Otherwise, it's essentially a 5v6.
True that. Even with the best Widowmaker, she's not going to be able to have much of a point presence, if any. Descartes now swapping onto the Reinhardt to better deal with the damage coming in from Only Heroes Club, but Keto going to have a really difficult ask with this blade. He's going to likely unleash in this next fight.
And Munsai might want to build that this Graviton as quick as possible to hold down the Genji when he blades. Swag and Lego picking up some kills. Aviv trying to salvage things, gets rid of the Reinhardt, gets rid of the Zarya, deleting them from the server, and now holding on to some walls on that ultimate, waiting for someone to walk right by. Oh, and unfortunately unable to complete on the Roadhog. Does get hooked, found out from that ledge. Nevertheless, though, Kyrie will be able to get that point, but not going to be able to hold on to it for too long.
Yeah, the question will be, what's the follow-up once you take control? Soundbarrier out from Wally, just buying a little bit more time for Aviv to get back into the fight. He has the wall hacks up, which will be crucial for this team, but how much can it do against a Graviton Surge?
The most you can do is just lay down and die sometimes. The Graviton just makes it way too hard to deal with, and yeah, I think Kyrie might want to rethink their composition. I think they might just want to throw it out a Junkrat or another tank. So the Widowmaker, when the picks are coming through, it's great, but it's not consistent damage against these tanks. So they lost a lot running that Widowmaker, but at least they've made the change. And now that they have the quad tank, they're going up against a quad tank. Let's see what they can do. Swag throwing down a Diva Bomb. It almost goes off the map, but it ricochets off the pillar and catches Keto with the arc. And then a nice Earth Shatter into the Diva Bomb from Karma and Dark. A huge combination that's paying off very well for these tanks as they're throwing down everything. But Endless and Munsai are still alive. Even Swag, these tanks will not go down for Only Heroes, as now they're trying to clean up Aviv, who straggles away, and they might get the stagger onto Wally, but just able to slip away out of their hands. Oh, Swag gets hooked away by Keto. That might be a stagger that they can take advantage of. Swag does lose the mech. That could be an opportunity for Kyrie to slip things back over.
It's go time, 93%. Kyrie Eliza have to get their butts onto the payload. They're only halfway to any kind of tank ultimate, but they do have the numbers, and that is what's going to matter in this next fight as overtime ticks down here. Oh, Keto is the closest one to the whole hog. He has so much sustain here. Everything will be resting on the shoulders of this pig. Not if Karma has anything to say about it, though. Immediately deletes 2 for the betterment of his team.
Oh, Aviv getting on the board there with the Zarya kill. Oh, there's that hog running around Keto. Throwing a hook, just hitting people in the face with that hook. That's gotta hurt. But that's a poor loss, unfortunately, for Only Heroes Club. Pretty much on the crux of Swag going down early after that overextension. Once you lose that Diva mech, it's hard losing a mech against the 4 other tanks, 4-on-3 tanks, is not something you want to fight against. So Dark Artist and Aviv also getting back onto the board with some kills, again denying Swag his mech early. So that's pivotal in these fights to control the advantage.
Absolutely, Kyrie Elizen doing everything they can to buy seconds of time, more point percentage for them. They have the ultimates ready on hand to try and defend this point, but they have to make sure that the execution is there. Graviton Surge out, Keto going to be throwing out their whole hog, easy peasy, textbook as you can get for Kyrie Elizen.
Unfortunately, Lego, they got a textbook, but they overpaid for that. And they should have just downloaded the PDF. Oh, Tim being dropped out. That's going to be a pause, I believe. And yeah, so Lego at that fight, after they got hit by the Graviton, Lego threw down the Earth Shatter, hoping to salvage the fight. All it did was lose him the ultimate. So that's actually, I think, could be pivotal going into this next fight. Without an Earth Shatter, all they have to really rely on in terms of crowd control is Munsai. And also Tim, because he left the game DC'd or otherwise, whatever ultimate charge he had is gone. So that's another huge loss too. That's really bad for all the heroes.
It's really unlucky for Only Heroes Club. Things were looking really good for them early on. They got 99%. They just need that one last fight win. But Kyrie Elizen's gonna have a lot to say about it. 4 ultimates in their bank, Earth Shatter, Sound Barrier. If nothing else, Only Heroes Club's gonna have to grind through so much healing on the other side. But if they can get another combo going, Graviton Surge into D.Va Self-Destruct, it's called the Bigger Bang for a reason, and that could just wipe the field.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to witness the creation of a whole new universe, and you got to pay the price of the loss. But we'll see if Only Heroes can hold on to their lead and somehow make the most of this unfortunate situation. As Tia is saying that Tim will be back into the game momentarily, so we can look at the ults across the board here. Kyrie sitting on 4. They have the crowd control with the Earth Shatter. Unfortunately, Aviv is not that close to a Graviton, so I think they should be able to cycle ultimates in which Dark and the Coalescence from Nolos should be able to hold them on long enough to get Aviv's Graviton in. Of course, they also have the D.Va Bomb and Wally sitting on the barrier, so the cycling of these ults into the Graviton and the Whole Hog on the other end should be fine for Kyrie, but still, Only Heroes Club, they have a Graviton of their own, they have a Coalescence of their own, they can easily match what Kyrie has to offer.
That's right, but if anybody's ultimate could change the face of this game, it's going to be Karma's Self-Destruct. He's been incredible with the positioning so far. Shades of Poco picking up at least 2 every single time it goes out. And there we go, actually going to get hooked in from Endless for a beautiful 2K. Endless, you might have just sunk this ship for your team, my friend.
That's unfortunate. I hate to see that happen. Endless trying to, try and pay respects to his team, his fallen team at his own hand, booping off Dark Artist's Reinhardt. But yeah, that's not the target you want to be hooking in there, Ham. And they're paying the price. Absolutely, just there's no words for it really. Is Kyrie now getting sucked up into a grab? But yeah, at that point, too late. And unfortunately, that's going to snowball off of a pretty misplaced hook there from Endless, so Kyrie will be taking that away and holding on to a 1-0 lead here on Ilios.
Oh, that's just sometimes the hooks find their mark and you wish that they didn't. It's oftentimes these really little things that swing the fight in as close of a series as this. Both teams have shown incredible skill. Kyrie Elizen able to bring things back from a brink of a loss, almost 99-0% there. Now opening up on Lighthouse, looks like it's going to be a little bit more of the same from the red team. Only Heroes Club though, Munsai going to be picking up the Reaper. Endless, you've had enough of that Roadhog. It's time for Zarya for you.
It might be a good choice as we go to the more narrow and close quarters fighting that's going to be happening here on Ilios Lighthouse. But this is going to be some trouble for both these teams. This is a very long tournament, very long set. The timing is now trying to, wearing them down. It comes down to a battle of stamina here. Which team can last longer? And Kyrie might have found an opportunity to get through Only Heroes. They're just one round win away here on Ilios to make it a map 5 and potentially a reverse sweep. Let's see who can get first blood here, Ham. Both teams just battling it out in a big brawl on the point.
There we go, the capitalization off the loss of the mech for Karma. Earthshatter from Descartes not going to be doing anything against the Only Heroes Club team, and that should be an easy first capture. As you mentioned, Rapture pointed out excellently, this is much closer quarters than it was on Ruins or even any of the Lijiang tower maps that we saw earlier on, so Munsai going to get incredible value off of this Reaper.
Yeah, Reaper would have to chase as far for these kills, and of course, most likely going to have targets in his close range to hit with Death Blossom once he hits that Q key. So we'll see how that works out for him. And of course, Endless is sitting on the Graviton, so what better to combo into a grab other than, I guess, Junkrat Riptire than a Death Blossom. We'll see how that works out for them. A Coalescence being thrown down on Graviton, following up on that. Both streams being crossed right through. I'd hate to be in the middle of that grab. And the Black Hole just turning everybody into spaghetti. As Only Heroes Club with another full wipe here, putting Kyrie back towards spawn.
Yeah, Kyrie getting stretched thin in that group hug courtesy of Endless. And despite all of that, Only Heroes Club gonna still have a couple of ultimates online to try and defend Kyrie Elizen, working up to their first couple. Munsai did expend the Reaper Death Blossom in that last fight, but he can take the backseat here, as it's going to be the Swagalope and Lego game all day long.
Oh, and Swag trying to remind him what's up. Gets caught in the Diva Bomb, or gets caught in the Graviton after letting go of that Diva Bomb. Leave Karma threw down one as well. All right, here it comes actually, and gonna not land on anybody. Neither Diva Bomb connecting. Here comes Swag trying to get rid of the other Diva, but gets D-mech'd himself. And Earth Shatter just barely passing him by as he got D-mech'd. Everyone fighting it out in the corner. If this Mora can pick up the Diva, but as long as they can get Swag to not come back into this fight, that could be an opportunity for Kyrie to get in control of the point. But unfortunately, their tanks are nowhere to be found. And now Karma, once he gets back onto the point, immediately put onto the ground. And then just barely hold onto the mech, but actually everyone has left the point for the time being to try and clean up these squishies. Now turning their sights back onto Karma, but Karma getting rid of Swag. Still though, Munsai finding 98. The Q, the Death Blossom, 99% here for Only Heroes Club, and everyone from Kyrie has been melted except this Reinhardt until I've spoken too soon. Munsai finds him in the corner, and Only Heroes Club making it a 1-1 on Ilios.
Oh, Only Heroes Club with the 100-0 take, tying things up here on Lighthouse. Kyrie Elizen gonna be sweating a bit, palm sweaty, mom spaghetti, because they're slowly seeing their tournament hopes drift away there. Keto on that Roadhog, not quite able to get as much done as he would have liked once Only Heroes Club were entrenched on that point. It's so difficult to aggress against the Reaper, who has shotguns blasting in your face constantly. It was really up to them picking up a good hook or a lucky early frag. But this time around, both teams going to be swapping things up. It's Orisa all day long and a Pharah for Keto.
Yeah, dealing with that Reaper can be a catch-22 there. You got to deal with him to kill him, but when you start fighting him, he starts building lifesteal and ultimate charge, and it creates even more problems for your team. So you got to be able to really pick and choose your battles against him. But like you said, no Reaper for this one. Both teams trying to cheese each other out with environmental kills. Legal after a hook, throwing down Karma. He gets ragdolled into the point. Sacrifice for the Ilios gods down there. Let's see if that sacrifice was worth it, as that first pick could be a benefit for this Only Heroes Club team, as they're sitting on the point and they are going to get the first capture.
I do like this hero pick from Avi, though, this time around, going onto the McCree to better counter the long distance damage from Munsai. Junkrat is weak to the McCree's 6-shooter, so they're probably going to be looking to keep that Trash Mouse in check. However, they will have to contend with all the environmental kill potential from the members of Only Heroes Club.
Endless sitting back in this corner, trying to avoid getting cheesed into the point, avoiding these halts, throwing down some right clicks onto the barrier. Has to be careful though, this McCree has generally not been behind the shield. Has to be aware of these spikes, but I believe the McCree's already been taken out. Oh, a boop from Tim as Karma hooked Endless, so both Roadhogs go down into the pit. Now it's Swaglope trying to hold on for more. Probably wants to be Swaglope out here, blessing everybody with these Diva hits, though getting thrown right down into the pit again. And then a Vive for 3, the Diva mech, and then Swag and Tia, the High Noon picking up the... Oh, and even getting Munsai's Riptire, so a Vive playing strong and getting a bunch of kills. Even with the flashbang on a Tim, he won't stop until his point is captured by Kyrie.
Oh, he's been incredible on every hero he's touched thus far. He's shown up huge again for his team this time around on Lighthouse. Perfect McCree, perfect for cleaning up those squishies, but it's so hard for him to stand on the point when the shield is down. That's what Only Heroes Club is going to look to exploit here. Break that Orisa shield with your superior damage and then clean everything up.
But how easy will it be for them to clean up the rest of this? Oh, Karma again hooked into the point. Endless is just making it such a problem for anyone to go near around this pit, but Kyrie has the numbers advantage. Despite Munsai getting back on the board, Keto will channel that barrage and find Lego on the other end before getting put down by Munsai himself. Very rarely do you see a Junkrat taken out of Farah, but first time for everything on this stream, I'm sure. Kyrie still holding on strong and now making it close to hitting that 55% mark held by Only Heroes.
They're looking to eclipse Only Heroes' point capture percentage very soon, and that's actually the second time Munsai has found Keto in the air. You usually think about it the other way around, as far as countering Junkrats, right? Keto gonna have to look out for more than just grenades in this last fight as Munsai lets loose his Rip Tire. All of Kyrie and Lyson are clustered up here. They can't let it get near them, and Avi saves his team.
Look at them sitting right in this small little corner of the point behind the shield, trying to hold up, but Munsai finding both the McCree and the Zenyatta, most squishy targets you could probably possibly find here. And now this fight has scrambled inside that building until both tanks forcing away the Roadhog from the rest of his team. Karma eventually does go down. But Dark with those 2 kills off the halt, it might have evened things up. Unfortunately, Kyrie could not balance that checkbook. And so we're going to walk away with a bunch of money there is Only Heroes. And now also with the percentage. This is very close. They're very close to taking this tournament here, Am.
Extremely close, and Endless gonna try and make it a little bit less, so close that distance, blast everybody away with that hold hog coming in. But Keto, he's been excellent on this Pharah so far, not to mention Avi's accuracy on this McCree, but it's all about the slow poke game for Kyrie Elizen. Only Heroes Club will be looking to wear them out here with this extended shield battle. The Swagalope gets demeched first right off the bat.
All right, here we go. Endless flanking a little bit, throws down the whole hog, isn't gonna be able to connect on anybody. Karma goes down his counterpart, but the whole hog only doing a little bit of displacement, not gonna find any kills until he locks down Wally and Munsai picks it up. Meanwhile, above, Keto throwing down the barrage, but Tia immediately in his face with a coalescence. Maybe a last-ditch effort for Kyrie, but now they have absolutely nothing left. It's just Dark on the point, gets routed by Tia, and after the longest of delays, this could be it. Only Heroes Club finding the kills in the end and stopping Kyrie in their tracks from reverse sweeping it. They will take this set 3-1, and they will hold on to Ilios here after a very close set here. And Aviv, though, getting the play of the game, it's going to be Only Heroes taking the tournament. Congrats to them.
Yes, congratulations to Only Heroes Club. They knew what their strengths were, and they stuck to their guns throughout this tournament to great success. Kyrie Elizen, though, trying to swap things up to best counter their opponents. But this is going to be a royal road for Only Heroes Club. Welcome to the championship. This is their first time in this tournament, and they will be walking away with the full first prize.
Yeah, congrats to them. A big run. Like you said, a royal road, their first cup. And they go all the way through it, taking out some big names, taking out My Hands Are Freezing, taking out another team that was by Shuko, I believe, taking out Kyrie, the runner-up from 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately Kyrie, that second-place curse, falling their way. And sometimes the clutch comes there, but Only Hero is proving they had the stamina they needed. And of course, also being dominant on control. Not dropping a single control map this entire tournament, so we know they're good on at this point.